everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dammie, for those that might be tuning in for the very first time. In today's video, we're going to be talking about credit cards, and we're going to be going through the pros and why you should have a credit card. And of course, like everything in life, everything that has a benefit definitely has a con or a disadvantage. So we'll go over the few disadvantages as well, and if time permits, we'll go through some of the credit card that I have used and I feel you can also use. We can all scroll through Google together and search for the current offers available and what you can explore. As background, if you've not seen my last what we spent in the month, I think that was what bettered this video on how tips on how I saved money and things like that. I think in that video I'd mentioned that I got a credit card where I got free money and things, and everyone wanted to know what credit card I use and how I've been able to get the rewards and bonus. So that's what we're doing. So there won't be what we spent in the month of July. That's what is converting to this video, and going forward I feel like I can just put out finance tips here and there, but please bear in mind I am not a finance expert or finance advisor. Whatever I put out there is based on my personal experience and pure public knowledge. So don't take this as a finance advice. If you need a finance advice or you need an accountant, please do well to seek one for your own private use. But yeah, whatever I say here is just public knowledge based on my personal experience. Finally, before I start, something I want to put out there as well is if you have no form of financial literacy, you have no self-control over money, credit card is not for you. I'll go over the cons and how credit card can make or mar your life. So please, if you have no form of control, like self-control, you know, when you see money you just spend money, if that's the person you are, please just exit this video, because it will do you more harm than good if you get a credit card. But without further ado, let's get right into the video. So the very first one is fraud protection. So with most credit card you have $0 to maybe $50 liability if there is fraud on your card. With credit cards, they don't approve their payments immediately. It gives them time to go through the payment and confirm that it is a legit transaction. And now it just takes me back to this dating video where there was fraud performed. Can you remember there was this, I can't remember the name of the movie. If I remember, I'll put it in on the screen when I'm editing. But there was this movie where this girl got a lot of credit card, give it to a guy, the guy was spending her money, you know. I can't remember the name of the video, but if you remember that particular one, because me too, I thought about it, that what if that type of thing happens to you? But she gave the card to the guy so the guy could defraud her and things like that. But if, for instance, I go through my credit card transaction for today and realize that there's someone like me, I tell people that I log into my bank every second I press my phone. Like, I don't know how transaction will hit my bank, and for weeks I won't see it. It doesn't happen to me. Oh, I log into my bank app every hour. I don't even know what I used to just look for in my bank app. But then if you're able to log into your bank app at any point in time and you see a transaction that is not you who performed and you suspect to be a fraud, you immediately call the bank. They can either hold the payment because it's credit card, right? So they take time to approve. Even most times when you log into your credit card, you see that there are a lot of transactions pending. With debit card, like your normal bank card, within 24 hours they will approve it. But with credit card, it takes time before they approve transactions, and that's why you see some stores that don't even accept credit card. I remember when I was using Amex, how they would never accept Amex card. I think now they accept Kohl's and Westpac, but they did not used to accept Amex. A lot of shops don't even accept Amex, and I suspect it's just because it takes them time to confirm payments and then getting their money. I think the time lag doesn't just work for some of those businesses. So yeah, there's a level of fraud protection if you're using credit card, and your liability is always very small if you report at the right time. Sometimes if you report within, I think, 6 days, zero liability. If you report, depends on the bank as well, but this is just on the average on my own personal experience. Please check when you terms and conditions, please check all of those things. It is very important for you to know. And most of these credit card companies, they also have a fraud and protection analytics inbuilt in their system, where once all those purchases are coming in for approval, they can analyze wherever they suspect fraud, and they will hold the payments for a long time until they confirm that it is not fraud. So all of these things are things you can take advantage of. Whereas your debit card, 24 hours they will approve the payment, the money is gone, and then there may just be 0% liability protection from the bank, if that makes sense, because you have to now raise a ticket with the bank and then you start going back and forth if it's a debit card, things like that. So that's number one reason fraud protection is very important, is one of the very reasons why using a credit card is good. The number two reason why you should get a credit card is the fact that you have 0 interest free days. So for instance, if you need loan quickly now, you're calling your family or friends, or you are calling some people walk up to the bank. I know people walk up to the bank to take personal loan, but sometimes, you know, you just need quick money. I'm like, oh, my salary is coming on the 15th of next month. They pay us on the 15th, so my salary is coming on the 15th, but I need to quickly sort out some things. I know that this money I'm going to get it for sure, right? But I don't want to ask anybody for money. I don't want to. So, and I have a credit card and has a limit of whatever. I can just use my credit card and I'm not paying any interest. Even sometimes you want to ask family and friends for money. I remember when I was back in Nigeria, like, my money is in fixed deposit. I will even plead with them, please just break that fixed deposit. I will give you whatever differential it is. That's how we used to roll then. So, but here you have something that you don't need to like feel embarrassed to ask anybody for money. You have the credit card, you can use it. It is interest free for 30 to 55 days. It is interest free so far you pay your money as at your statement due date. So they usually send you monthly statements and then they will put the statement due date. So far you pay your money as at when due. It is interest free. So why will I be a burden to others, like trying to borrow money or, you know, things like that, when I can actually get this at a cheaper rate and interest free for 30 to 55 days depending on the statement cycle. So that's one advantage. I tell people I've been using credit card for the last 3 years since I got to Australia, and I have never paid 1 cent as interest. I have never, because once they send me my and that's the thing I was saying about financial literacy. If you are not doing your math, if your math is not mathing and you go and get a credit card and then they send you, just spend the money. Like, I think there was one credit card I did and they gave me $30,000. I'm like, huh, for what? I had to go and reduce it. But by the time you say $30,000 credit card and you start just swiping the card, before you know it, you run into debt and you will not be able to pay. For me, I still, whatever I cannot repay, I don't spend. I look at it, okay, my salary is coming on the 15th of next month. What am I able to pay in this statement cycle? So that's how it works for me. I've never paid a cent extra. If you don't hold yourself financially accountable, you will just realize that you spent money, your statement due date comes, and you don't have the money to pay back. Hence why you need to have at least some sense of responsibility on yourself, and then just keep track of what you're spending and be sure that you have that money to repay back as I when due. So, and that's another thing, take advantage of the interest-free period. You don't need to ask people for money, you don't need to borrow here and there. You can just, so far you have a good credit record, you should be able to get like a reasonable amount of credits here, you know, at least here in Australia. I know it's applicable in most other countries. The number 3 thing is pay debt over time. So I know I mentioned that, oh, for me, I've not paid interest before, but sometimes you might find yourself in some financial mess. Like, money sometimes can make you go crazy, or you can have like urgent needs that needs to be met. Credit card also, and it has ruined a lot of economy. Like America, for instance, when people start telling you how much credit card debts they have, you'll be so shocked. But sometimes you're left with no option than to go into debt, and we know these things happen. I'll try and put a screenshot of one of my statements here. When they send you the monthly statement, they will tell you this is how much you are owing in this cycle. For instance, maybe 3,002. I'm just remembering, like, I have a payment due, and that's what is in the statement, 3,002. Maybe I will even use that one as example. So you have a payment due of 3,002, right? They will put a minimum payment, maybe 60 or 120. I can't even remember what it is. I've never gone that route. So they'll put a minimum payment. So far you don't miss that minimum payment instead of me. So for me, once they send me my statement and say 3,002, I pay my 3,002 as at the due date. But if you're not financially capable of paying it, you can pay the minimum payment, which is maybe 120, maybe 60, and then you continue to pay that minimum payment every month instead of paying the 3,200. But bear in mind, they will start accruing interest, and the interest rate is very, very high. I think 18.9% thereabout, higher than the normal bank, you know. I don't know what personal loan it currently says in Australia, but home loan is about 6% thereabouts, which is way higher than the normal loan. So sometimes life happens and you are in debt, financial need. This is something you can explore, but also please just make sure you weigh your options. If it's easier getting money from family or friends, if it's easier getting money from back home, just explore that option as well. But because the interest rate is quite high, I cannot imagine myself paying 18% on even 3,000. Talk less of people that pay interest on 18,000. And that's what you will see, that some people, they'll be saying, oh, they have huge credit card balance because they allow that money to accrue over time, and like, you know, the interest is accruing, and it's just becomes something so big that they cannot repay. So avoid paying interest, but sometimes life happens and you have to take advantage of it. So that's just another benefit. And the number 4 reason why you can take a credit card is because it increases your credit score. Credit score, I tell people, it is not a big deal in Australia. You know, in America, it's almost like, what's your name, what's your credit score? That's what I see people do. But in Australia, I've hardly seen places where they ask me, what's your credit score? I know that they go and do credit background, they do credit checks and things like that. Maybe if you want to buy, I can't remember what I've ever done that they asked for my credit history. I can't remember in this Australia. I've never. Maybe they do it on the background and come back and say, oh, you're successful, you're unsuccessful for this facility. I don't know, but it's not a big deal. But then again, they say credit card helps you build your score. To be honest, I really don't know how that works in the background, but the common sense knowledge that I understand is, you know, when they want to give you credit, they will go and check and see if you're credit worthy, and then they see, oh, you've had this facility for a long time, or a credit card for a long time, you've repaid, you've never defaulted, you're not blacklisted, there are no inquiries or reports negative events. Yeah, so I'm just remembering, if you check your credit score, sometimes they will say negative events. So I think those are the things they will check and see that, oh, you do not have any negative events recorded over your credit reports, and that's good. So it helps build your credit score. I know that I said that I don't know how credit card impacts your credit score. Another reason why I said that is when we're taking our home loan, for instance, I remember my husband did not have any credit card. He's so against it. I was the one that recently loaded him into it. Or preach to him. I won't even say Lord, I preach to him, and now he understands and even wants more. But yeah, so my husband did not have a credit card. I had a credit card, and we were pulling our credit reports. His score was still higher than mine. So that part I don't understand, and I'm not even willing to dig in further because it's what it is, and we keep it moving. But yeah, that was what that's it about credit score. And the number 1 reason, like, I kept the best for the last. The one reason why I love credit card and why I think that I'm sold on it is the reward, cashback, bonuses I've been able to get using credit cards. I got the Coles one, for instance, and then with this one, I think I'll go in depth and just had clips. I will explain some of the credit card available and the rewards that comes with it. The first credit card I got was Amex. I used to get points back, and that point I could turn it to cash to pay off my credit card. Then even till now, I still used to tell my husband, I don't understand how this bank makes their money. Obviously from people who pay interest, that default in payments, but I used to get free money from Amex, at least maybe $35 every quarter. It was free money. I like it. There's no free money abroad except for this one. I'm taking it. So yeah, I got that from the Amex card, and then I got the Coles credit card as well. I got $350 because what happened is they gave me the Flybuys points, and we'll go over all of these things later. I got the Flybuys points, and the Flybuys points I can convert it to Flybuys dollars. And if you're in Australia, you know about Flybuys, and if you don't know, I can put you on that as well. Please just ask me in the comment section. I have Flybuys, I have rewards. See me, I'm all about looking for free money because this girl needs money. Anyway, so I got I think about $350 is all I got for that particular card, the Coles one. The Babambari, the most interesting one I got recently is the Westpac credit card, and I got this because I wanted to get the frequent flyer points. So, and I think that's the most common reason why people get credit card, to be honest, is because of the frequent flyer points. And then Westpac was on a promo at the time. I think it was a credit card, use it for 1 year and will give you maybe 100,000 points, 100,000 Qantas points. So Qantas is a local, I think they said they fly international. Qantas is an Australian airline. That's what I know. So Qantas is an Australian airline. You get Qantas points. So now, for instance, I have 70,000 points, and somebody is telling me that 70,000 points can take me to London. Can you beat that? Like, seriously? I will show you guys live. We'll try to book a ticket and we'll see how much points we need to pay. But for me, I'm not planning to go to London. So I want to go to Sydney. I want to go to Melbourne. I want to start like traveling locally. And yes, that 70,000 as well can pay for me and my kids, like 3 of us. I don't need my husband, but the 3 of us, it can take us to Sydney and back conveniently. So that's why I started gathering the frequent flyer points, and I'm planning to explore other ones as well. Right now I see that NAB has a very interesting offer, and we'll go over it shortly. I'm willing to go and take that as well. So but in all of that, saying, oh, there's free money, there's all of that, if you're not if you forget your financial literacy and just take all of these things, you find yourself in debt. Like, I keep saying it because I've seen a lot of people that this has affected or like just destroyed their whole life, because debts, it will just send you to bankruptcy. And like, I don't want that for you guys. I don't want that. So yeah, that's it. Let's go over the cons of credit card. Number one, you can easily run into debts, like easily. They give you a credit card of 30,000 and you just start swiping like it's free money. When my husband first saw the credit card, oh my god, it's going to kill me for this. Mom's like, King Command no low. I'm like, yes, it does not it won't decline. And the guy, but I kept reminding him, bro, this money will be due for payments in 30 to 55 days. Oh, so don't spend. Like, my husband is very financial, like, he knows. My husband is a chartered accountant. Like, what do you mean? So he knows his accounting record, but it was just very interesting to him. Like, my Nigerian man say, just be spending more, nobody's chasing you for it. They will chase you in 30 days, but they will not even chase you. You can pay as you like, but then again, you know what's coming, the interest rates will be very high. So you can easily run into debt, because at the first instance looking at it, you'll be like, oh my god, this is free money, and you just start spending. So you can easily run into debts. You need to be conscious, like, you need to consciously keep yourself accountable. I think that's the right word for it. You need to consciously keep yourself accountable, else you can easily run into debt. So that's number one, right? You can easily run into debt. And then the number two thing, which is an offshoot of that, is it destroys your credit rating. By the time maybe you want to take home loan, when your things are now getting settled for you in wherever you find yourself, and you try to get home loan, and then you already see that you have a bad credit history, you've taken credit card, you've not repaid, obviously your home loan will not be granted. It will stop other better opportunities you are meant to get in life. So you don't want your credit score messed up for tiny little things, because honestly, what do you use credit card for? To pay for all these normal daily things. So some of these things are just avoidable. So one, you can easily run into debt. Two, it will mess up your credit score history. And finally, it has a complicated fee and interest charges. So they will start charging you all sort of interest that you don't, it's hard to even manage the interest calculation. And I've heard a lot of people saying that this credit card are just scamming them. But yeah, if you don't repay, you cannot even justify some of the interest they will charge you at every point in time. And with the way inflation is going, God knows what amount of interest that they will charge you on your credit, like on your credit card. But then again, in saying all of that, please bear in mind, don't do a cash withdrawal on credit card, else they will charge you interest. I think the cash withdrawal is one thing they will charge you. I've never done a cash withdrawal. I just use it to buy my daily, like go to Howdy, go to Kmart. I need to buy something from JB Hi-Fi. That's what I use it for. And then once they give you the terms and conditions, just read it very well. It differs from bank to bank. Take your time, read it. Some of these offers, when they give it to you, they expect you to spend maybe a certain amount of money, maybe 3,000, which we will see shortly, maybe 3,000 within 60 days. Make sure you spend it so that you can get the rewards. Remember, the main reason why we are getting the credit card is to get the rewards. So make sure you spend that 3,000, 2,000, whatever it is, within either 60 or 30 days, whatever they say, so that you can get the rewards. Now let's look at the credit cards available and the offers that they have. So the first one we'll be looking at today is the NAB credit card. Basically, what I've done here is just go to the NAB website, and now I'm navigating to the credit card tab. And once you come here, click on credit card, and we can just go through all the credit card available. So the very first one is this NAB straight up card. The credit limit is 1,000, but bear in mind this has a monthly fee. When I was using the first credit card, my Amex, it was no fee credit card. I was not paying any fee whatsoever, and I was still getting, you know, some $30 here, $40 here and there from it. So this one I will not advise, because why will I be paying $10 monthly fee or $20? Like, no, I don't buy this. And there's really no much offers. There's really nothing it's offering you. It's just that you have loan, kind of, you have money you can use when you are in their need. That's the only thing. But if it meets your need, by all means, go for it. And then the next one is the low interest one as well. Very similar. $1,000 is the limit. It has 0% annual fee, which is fine. I feel like that one still makes sense. There's no fee on it, but there's no, and then see, it has an annual fee of $59 or so. So always read all the terms and like underlying conditions and offers very well. So that one initially it was looking good, but now I realized that it has an annual fee. But there's no annual fee in the first year. Another thing people do is get the credit card, cancel it before the annual fee is due. So that's another thing you can explore, or even take advantage of the offers, cancel it, take another bank's credit card. That's what is very common around here. This is another NAB low fee. I feel like they have quite a number of them, but yeah, you can just check those out. So when we are talking about the offers, the frequent flyer, and all those things, these are the cards we are talking about the NAB Qantas premium cards, right? So this is the perfect example of what I got. I don't know, I didn't get the NAB one. I think Hobby got the NAB one, but this is a perfect example. So the limit is 6,000. Let's go through see all the benefits. It has 6 complimentary insurance, including international travel insurance, free Qantas frequent flyer membership. It has 1 bonus point or dollar for every 1 bonus point for every $1 you spend, up to 44 interest-free days on purchases. Is 0% per annum for 12 months. And like, there are just a lot of benefits. So this is the type of card you want to get so far, like if it meets your need and what you plan for. And see what you're getting as the offer. 17,000 Qantas points. You will see what these points can buy at the end of the day. We'll still get to it. But see, when you spend 2,000 on every purchase within 60 days of account opening, so just see, like, that is a good offer for me, if you ask me. It has an annual fee, right? But by the time, the value you're getting from this card is way more than the annual fee if you convert it into like literal dollars. So that's why for someone like me, this is something that works for me. This is another one. The credit limit is 15,000, has an annual fee of $395. That one will choke me. I'm not going to do $395 annual fee. Anything that the annual fee is above $200 counts me out. Like, but see, it has a lot of points as well, to be fair. It has $120,000 bonus Qantas points, 90,000 upon sign on, and when you spend certain amount after approval. But yeah, this is a perfect example of credit card you should explore. The 70,000 one you don't do, that 120 you choke. The next one we'll be looking at is Westpac. Again, I went to Westpac website and navigating to the credit card site, as you saw on the screen. And here they didn't have so much, but what I just did, I went to frequent flyer because obviously we are looking for something we can travel with. And Westpac is the actual new one I just got, and I think this one is the one I got, the Altitude Qantas Platinum card. This is the one I got. It has an annual fee of $175, for which I think is fair enough for the value I'm getting. You'll see that as well shortly. This is what everything looks like, because even $175 cannot take me to Sydney, just me. So imagine taking 3 people. But anyway, we'll get to it. So this is it. Get 70,000 points with 4K spent. So if you spend 4,000 in 90 days, I think you get 70,000 points. And I think that's what I did before I got the 70,000 points on my card. And they just have different terms and conditions. Not really anything interesting. They don't have a lot of offers, to be honest, compared to what we saw in NAB. And you can also check out what cards they have. Different cards. Just read if any of them meets your need, but you need to actually read like all the underlying conditions with this card, so that you're not signing up for what you don't know about. Because my husband signed up for one and he actually forgot he was meant to spend a certain amount of money before a certain date, and that was how he missed it. So please ensure you read all the summary page or the details of the terms and condition properly, so that you're not missing out anything or leaving anything on the table. So this is, yeah, that's another credit card. And then yeah, so we've just looked at NAB and Westpac. Please do well to check out other banks. You can check Amex, you can check Commonwealth. I don't know if CBA has anything interesting. People take Virgin cards. I've taken Coles credit cards. They're just a bunch you can try online. Like, just search by yourself and look for the one that best suits you. Now that we know how to get the points, now let's see how we can put the points to use. So I've logged into my Qantas account. So the 958 is what I got for this new statement period. So you can see my balance. I have about 73,992. The 72,000 was the one I got for the first month when I got the actual 70,000 points. And this month of August, I didn't spend so much, so I got just 985 Qantas points. But yeah, what I will try to do now is just book a ticket from Brisbane to Sydney, because actually that's where it's on my mind and I'm planning to go. So I'll put it in for December because of course that's when I have leave. So yeah, I'm just changing this to Brisbane City to Sydney for December. And then bear in mind, December is always expensive. Like is a very busy period and flights are quite expensive at that time. So but let's see what it comes to. I'll pick December 17th, I think, because that's about when I'm free at work. 15, I'll still be working. Yeah. Can you see? The next is even 323. And then puts, and then I just make it flexible to see it. So that I can choose for that day by myself. So I clicked on flexible and then I'll see. Let's search. Let's see what it comes up with. The results are here now. I don't know why it's showing 8,000 points plus $47. I thought it would just be me using only the points. But then again, I need to go back to my consultant, who is Neha. Neha is my tutor. She's my tutor. What am I saying? She's my tutor. I need to go and check that back with her. But anyway, let's still work with it. So it's saying if I'm going on Sunday on the 17th is $8,000 points, plus I still have to pay $47, which is fine because that time of the year in December is always very expensive. Everybody's on vacation, but let's work with that. Just for the purpose of this video, I'm definitely not booking this one. I need to go back to my tutor to ask her why this is so, and she will tell me, she will guide me in the right direction. So I picked this one, which is 8,000 points, and then it just has all of this conditions to the flight. And then I need to pick an outward, yeah, that's Sydney back to Brisbane flight as well. So once I pick the two of them, and see, it's like the busiest time of the year I'm picking, and the price is still reasonable. Imagine booking it on another side might be more expensive, but anyway, I picked that one as 25th December, and almost no seats in all the flights, but there's only one. So let's pick that last one. And I'm just using, yeah, so let's see. Pick it, yeah, data, and then had this to trip. So can you see what it summed up to? $94 and 16,000 points, which to me is still fair. But how did I come to this conclusion? Let's see. So what I'll do now is we'll go to Google Flights and try to book an incognito, like flight from Brisbane to, on an incognito site, book a flight from Brisbane to Sydney and see what it costs and compare it to what we're going to be paying if we booked with Qantas points. So remember, I'm traveling with 3 people, right? But I've just tried to do one person, and that's what it comes up with. If I'm doing for 3 people, we'll just multiply it by 3 and you'll see how much I'll be saving. So I go ahead to search, and once I search, it came up that if I'm going, this is a return flight, it shows 238. So the average of it is, or the cheapest, that's not even the average, the cheapest is 238, right? So if I do 238 minus the 90, let's even say it's 100, so that's $138 per person that I will be saving. $138 per person, because now I need 16,000 points for one person and 3 of us are going. I have 70,000 points, so my points can cover up. And then for the fee, I'm going to pay $300, right? So instead of me, normally if I was using this on Google Flights, if I do $238, which was the fee we saw here now on Google, 238 times 3, that's 714. But if I'm paying only $300 based on $100 per person plus the points, so I'm saving about $414, which is way lesser than the annual fee I paid. So I think this makes sense. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've learned 1 or 2 things, and I hope this video is very helpful. As always, if you have any question, please drop it in the comment section. If there's any other finance tip or finance video you want me to do, Please also, I will appreciate your suggestion in the comment section. I won't be doing like all this monthly spend. I can also do my budgeting, how I budget. In another video, I just use an Excel spreadsheet where I can walk you through how I budget on a monthly basis and on an annual basis, how I save and things like that is something I will also try and film about. But if you have any suggestion or something you want me to like talk more about, please feel free to drop it in the comment section. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe if you're not yet subscribed, and share the video. I think that's about it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.